Today, we're going to meet with my cochlear implant patient, Chris, who received a cochlear implant from our center. We'll talk about his decision to go bilateral and what his experience was. We'll also talk about how hearing loss affected his relationships both at work and with his wife. I'm Dr. Chad Ruffin, a CI surgeon and a bilateral implant recipient based in Seattle. I'm unique among cochlear implant surgeons because I'm a research-trained scientist in a couple of different fields, both in how implants convert sound into electricity and how the brain and perception are changed by hearing loss. I am super passionate about hearing loss because I was born deaf and likely went on the same journey that you're on today. My journey was hard. My goal for this video series is to package the best science, the best medicine, and best research in an understandable way that makes your journey easier than mine. Let's meet Chris. So tell me how the activation went.
Activation went pretty well. So since day one, I just activated. I could understand my audiologist with the help of lip reading. She sounds weird and funny, but we could have a conversation. So at the beginning, I had a test of different level of volume for each frequency and stop at where I feel most comfortable. So I left the audiologist office with the profile with the mapping. But within a couple hours, I started to increase the volume all the way up to the top. So I just get used to it pretty quick. And day two, we tested again. Basically, my comfortable level was the maximum volume I can have in the day one's mapping. I think it's pretty good to me. I can hear and I can understand. So the speech gets natural and natural over the time within the course of a day. And day two, I don't have much issue talking to my audiologist.
How long did the activation appointment take?
The first one was 1 hour. We scheduled 2 hours, only took 1 hour. The second one also scheduled 2 hours and took about 40 minutes.
Some people feel like they're being touched inside their head, or it sounds like beeps and not sounds. Did you have any of that?
Well, I just got activated. I think everybody, for the first half an hour, I'd say, everybody sounds like a robot or some play piano or flute.
I think you also said that you were able to differentiate music on that first day, which I was super surprised about. You mind telling me more about that?
Yes. So for the music, I was just trying to train myself, listen to music. I start with the music I'm familiar with. Basically, I just let the music play. I'm doing something else. And then when that "See You Again" start the intro section, I immediately understand, okay, that's "See You Again." I didn't pay attention, but I just realized, okay, I know it.
You've now had your first week after activation, and has your perception of music changed at all?
I think it just got better, and because I listen all the time, seems like I keep enjoying it. It still have more high pitch sound from my new implant. If I listen using both ears, it sounds natural to me. It may not be natural, but it sounds natural to me.
So I think this process is also stressful on family as well, like significant others. Have you noticed any change in that, or do you have any comments on that?
I think the difference was day and night in terms of our, relationship or communication. Before the first implant, basically, if we go to somewhere, if I'm driving, she basically sleeping or sleep on her phone because it's very hard for us to have any conversation. Now I can have a conversation with the passenger in the back seat while I'm driving. So it's the difference day and night. So before, when we were in school, we live in an apartment relatively smaller, and then we moved to a house. Sometimes before I had the cochlear implant, she said she has to check each room to find me because she couldn't just call me and get a response. And now she could just call me and I would respond to her and then go to find her. So
I think that people with hearing loss sometimes forget the effect that their hearing loss has on their spouses and significant others. So I can see that getting an implant or getting hearing aids too, for some people is a plus for their relationship because one is not having to pick up as much for the other.
Yeah, I think I can totally relate to that. So in the past, we don't have many friends like in common because, like you said, I can't go out with girlfriends in a restaurant, have a conversation. But now it has changed. We have the same group of friends right now. I can participate all the activities.
What about work? So getting the first implant helped you with work, I'm sure, quite a bit.
Yeah, it helped me once again day and night. Actually, there was one trigger that helped me make the decision to get the first implant. So my job is an engineering job. So I think it was 2016, maybe 2015. There was one project. That was my project. It triggered a lengthy discussion one day, and everybody in the office involved. But the problem, I was so sad because I couldn't understand a single sentence they were talking. But it's my project. I need to understand. There's no way. So that was the one trigger make me consider cochlear implant seriously. I always tell people that that was the best decision, one of the best decisions in my life.
What made you decide to get a second implant?
So I think it's a similar reason that I said that it was great for me to have the first CI at work, but not good enough in some situations. Especially now I have like bigger meetings, involve more and more people. And my new job requires a lot more verbal communication with different people all the time. I found that with one CI, I could communicate and occasionally I have to ask people to repeat. But the real problem is I have to focus all the time. That really exhausts me. It might take me some time to finally understand what people say. So when I understand it, I need to respond. But the topic has been shifted to the next stage. It's too late to say anything at this stage. So that kind of things is just a little bit frustrating. So to beat this frustration, I did some research about the second CI, and I learned that it usually improves in the easiness of understanding and the directionality in a noisy environment. So in that case, I think I could benefit from a second CI. That's why I decided to go with the second CI.
So you were looking at a lot of places to get your second implant. Why did you come to Seattle?
I did a lot of research and trying to find one that works for me. So it's obviously I have to go to the States. There's a lot of choices there. I just asked around in this self-help group in Facebook, and then you were in that same group too. So that's how I met you. And then I did research about you, obviously, and decided, okay, that's a go-to person. It's easy to make this justification because you had implant too, you walked in our shoes. So, it just makes sense